Hello to all Taos friends. I'm Diego Romaioli, a researcher and psychotherapist at the University of Padua. It's an absolute privilege to be here and share my experience with you all as we're going to celebrate the Taos Institute. Where do I begin? About 15 years ago, I had the opportunity to complete part of my PhD at Strathmore College under the guidance of Kern Gergen, and let me tell you that encounter really changed my life and proved to be a turning point. I already had some basic knowledge on constructivism and similar paradigms, but my approach to psychology was pretty much individualistic at that time, and my time in the US provided me with great opportunities for critical reflections, and to my surprise, when I voiced my doubts to Ken, I discovered that many of my concerns resonated with him. Somehow we connected intellectually, but also through shared passion for art, jazz music, and good food. So Ken invited me to my very first Taos conference in Sarasota. I can remember the sea was wonderful, the people I met was even more incredible, and then I became part of the Taos community. I later attended another meeting in Copenhagen where I presented a couple of ideas about how people can act badly even when they know what's right, and on that note, I think that among the most relevant ideas of social construction, I got really hooked on this concept of multi-being that Ken introduced, and that our sense of self is shaped by the various relationships in which we are engaging, and I was totally into exploring how we could use this metaphor, this idea, into therapeutic practice. And thanks to Grant from Taos, I got to write a book on this very topic. So Taos, thank you once again for that opportunity. Constructionist ideas have had a massive impact on how I approach my work in psychotherapy. They've opened my eyes to a more collaborative approach with my clients, and I've become way more reflective and less rigid in my thinking. So I think that even psychologists could break free from the mindset of putting different schools against each other. I think it's very important nowadays. So I've learned not to position myself as the all-knowing expert, but rather engaging conversations that aim basically to destigmatize the mental distress. So we're pushing against the current trend, cultural trend, but I think it's a path we're pursuing. Together with my colleagues, we've developed good practices to tackle different issues, from managing auditory hallucinations to working with migrants without reducing their cultural backgrounds diagnosis. So it's very important. Constructionist ideas, especially the relational turn, have also changed how I approach research. By challenging the very notion that research should be neutral and limited to discovering what already exists, I've been able to approach studies that focus more on the future, and a big change of my current research is all about challenging dominant discourses like ageism, for instance, and coming up with new methods to deconstruct problems that have been constructed as real within communities. So the core idea is to emphasize the relational process that constructs realities and refine ways of communicating with each other that can be more generative. I want to give you another example. Over at the University of Padua, we've got this master program on contemplative studies, a very good one. My colleagues and I are putting the spotlight on how meditation is not just about self-reflection, but is basically a way to generate new and enriching forms of coordination with each other, with ourselves, with the others, and everything that surrounds us. So maybe this little shift in focus could truly change the world in which we live in. Constructionist ideas might seem simple at the surface, but they've whispered different things to me over time, with increasing clarity and depth. So I must also express my gratitude for the insights gained through my encounter with Sheila McNamee, and our dialogues have sparked a deeper appreciation for the diverse ways in which we can engage with several interpretations of social construction. So it's not just a set of ideas to be defended or argued about. It's a way of talking, a way of relating, as Ken used to say. It's a form of life that's cherished by many Taos associates. So let's raise a glass and celebrate. Send you all cheers from Italy. Thank you. Thanks for listening, and bye-bye.